Welcome back to almost the 50th official episode of Mittcast Sports.
Hey!
We're almost there. This is episode 49. We are here. We might be queer. We are here, and we're going to break down some football games.
I wore the wrong jersey for that joke. The gay one's over there.
But yeah, we're here to break down and give some of our previews, predictions. And
No, can we please pause a second?
What did I miss?
Quote, shout out gay people. Points at the camera. You
Shout out
fucking
gay people, bro.
You sleazeball.
Shout them out. But yeah,
Purple ally right here.
we're here to talk about some football. We're going to start with Michigan versus USC. As USC is traveling to the Big House for the first time since, I believe, 1958. This is the first non-Rose Bowl matchup between them in forever.
Yikes.
USC is 5-point favorites. The over-under is set at 44.5. Like I said in the review episode, Alex Orji is now Michigan's starting quarterback. So
That's a big change.
It is a big change, and it should be interesting to see how well he performs in this game against a 11th ranked team in the country. The expectations are going to be high because he was expected to start the season as the quarterback, didn't get that, and now he's coming in pretty much backs up against the wall.
Yeah, there is a lot on his shoulders right now. A
There's
lot more than if he would have started week one.
Yeah, backs up against the wall for the season. Offense has not looked good for the first 3 games of the year. Overall, there's been some glimpses, there's been some moments, but overall, the offense has not looked good. So he's got a lot of pressure riding on his back right now, and seeing what he can do to deliver and what he can bring to this offense throughout the entire game, and not just coming in to run a read option or throw 2 dump-off passes and get 24 yards in a game. So that's probably the biggest thing to look for in this game. Probably the next biggest thing is that, yes, they have played 2 games. I think the next biggest thing is how does USC transition into the Big Ten? I think that's probably the next biggest thing that we have to look at. And because traditionally speaking, USC and Lincoln Riley's offenses and defenses have not been able to stand up physically against other teams. They did against LSU, but was that just because LSU is not a physical team themselves? You might find out more about that this upcoming Saturday. Anyone else want to jump in?
So I do think they are ready for the physicality because, maybe LSU's not the toughest SEC team. They're still an SEC team.
Yep.
It's not any SEC bias. It's just the facts. The SEC is the SEC. Those teams are tough, all the way down to fucking Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt they're physical. They can play in the SEC. They have to be physical. I think they're ready for bully ball, Big Ten football. I think they are. Obviously, they're not going to run. Their offense is the same as we do,
Right.
typically in the Big Ten. Big Ten teams like to run the ball. But I think at least defensively, I think they're ready. I think they made a transition. They got guys. I think they're ready for it. Just the travel. That's the part I think that might hurt is traveling all the way from Pasadena all the way up to.
It does help that this is a 3:30 kickoff in Ann Arbor instead of a noon kickoff, because if it's a noon kickoff, that'd be kicking off at 9 in the morning for them. So they're kicking off at a typical noon time for them. So not anything extreme with coming over here, more so just the 6-hour flight from LA to Detroit, and then trying to get adjusted to the time for 2 days, and then going back out to LA. And we're gonna see that a lot with the former Pac-12 teams coming to the Big Ten teams and the Big Ten teams going out there, and we're gonna see a lot of that in the jet lag throughout the season.
Home field games kind of real, at least for those guys over there.
Yeah.
And vice versa when they come to play us. So.
I agree, and it's just because they do have an advantage too. USC is coming off of a bye, so they didn't play last week, and they got to rest, and then they're coming into the big house. So that will help them out a little bit. I think another key thing to look to is the running backs coach did say that he wanted Benjamin Hall to get in there more and get some reps. So it should be interesting to see. He's lower depth guy. Does he get in there at all? And how do they continue to handle the Khalil Mullins, Donovan Edwards situation? Because as of right now, Mullins is the leading rusher on the Michigan roster, not Donovan Edwards. And that's not probably something that anyone was expecting coming into the season. So how does not just the running backs coach, but how does the whole offensive staff and Sharon Moore treat that and go from there?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real test this week of Alex Orji's passing ability. Because you mentioned USC's defense, the physicality, they're ready for it. Run game, if U of M is to do what I believe they are, which is now that they've switched to Alex Orji as the starter, I think they continue trying to run Donovan Edwards as RB1. I think it's a mistake, but I think it's what they're going to do. And he's not going to bully his way through that D-line. They're tough. So I think it's really going to come down to Orji's passing ability in this game.
I think Donovan Edwards can kind of fit the read option in the option game a little bit better than Mullins could, because the option game you're going to want a little bit more speed in there. So I think Edwards, he might be able to fit that a little bit better than Mullins, but then again, that comes down to the offensive line, and they create the holes for Edwards and Orji to then bust through and create big opportunities for the offense and get yourself in the second in like 4, 5, 6, or third and 3 and less, and keep your offense in manageable positions where you're not having to be in obvious passing down situations and keep the defense guessing and on their heels. I think that's probably the biggest thing that this offense needs to do and hasn't really been able to do all season long, and that's been a consistent struggle. So hopefully, I'm hoping Alex Orji can bring that second gear and bring something new to the offense that we haven't seen so far this season. Side note, I believe I'm going to the game, so that will be in the game day logs for week 3. Samuel, we haven't heard from you yet on this game.
So I'm gonna throw out a little hypotheticals. I'm a hypothetical kind of guy.
We know, Mike.
Oh, I'm a hypothetical kind of guy.
So you said that USC, they were able to play that sort of physical football.
Yeah, I think they took it to LSU.
Yeah, they did.
LSU's LSU, man.
So I could kind of see U of M trying to force the run game a little hard,
Right?
and seeing a little bit of success, not as much as they would like, but they're like, we can still force it. And I can see them like kind of like leaning on that run game a little too much. I can see a universe where that exists,
Right.
but I can also see them looking at the LSU game and being like, hey, they kind of understand the bully ball mechanic, and they're probably going to be prepared for it. Like you said, they're coming off the bye. They're going to be well rested. Granted, you got that jet lag, but I've flown from California to Michigan. I didn't really experience it that much. It could just be me.
I think that varies person to person.
Yeah.
Jet lag gets me pretty bad. So
Well, also these are athletes who
These are
just came off a
athletes.
week of practice. Now they're
Yeah.
and
So-
also classes and whatnot.
College athletes have to go to classes? What's that about? I ain't coming here to play school.
But yeah, and also like Chloe pointed out earlier, I definitely see the home field advantage with the East Coast, West Coast teams being very much a big factor.
That
And
has
if-
to be, right?
Yeah.
And if a team can neutralize that by curing jet lag, or neutralize the jet lag, and especially when you're playing at Michigan, the big house, if you can sort of neutralize that already kind of standing home field advantage,
And
I think it'll be a little bit closer than some people might think.
And before, I know you wanted to say something. there might be the Big House might have a little extra charge to it, just because for the first time ever, the Big House is striping out the stadium. So just having that kind of cool environment around you, if it works out and people actually do it, I was at the very first Maze Out game, and the energy in that stadium was unmatched, and that was coming off of the 2-4 COVID year, and we only had played Western at that point. It was unmatched energy, and I'm really hoping that they're bringing something new to it and like striping out the stadium and trying to get the fans involved in it. That it brings some energy to the stadium, and it can be the Big House can be a factor it typically normally isn't. But yeah, that's what I wanted to add before you got into what you wanted to say.
I think so. Obviously, they're ready for the Big Ten volleyball, and they are going to run the ball. However, I think Lincoln is going to look at the game film, and he's going to take a Sark approach, and he's going to try to kill you through the air. And I think they may potentially have some success there. Obviously, it's not the same to the Texas passing game to USC, but I think that's kind of more so what we'll see. So we'll kind of see the old Pac-12 offense-ish kind of come out mixed with Big Ten physicality.
And to fully do what Sark did, USC, what Sark did really good, and I didn't talk about it in the review of it, but Sark avoided the middle where there's Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham, and he would run to the outside and keep doing that and exhausting, arguably, possibly 2 top 15 NFL draft picks, and he forced them to come out, and then when Michigan eventually did sub them out, he would then shove it up right up the middle when there's the backups in there. And USC might be able to do that too, where they keep swinging the ball outside, and then finally when the 2 big guys in the middle go out, then you start shoving it up the middle. But one thing that I do find...
I feel like the hand motion there was only mildly
it was
unnecessary.
It was.
So you just start shoving her up the middle.
It was. But
we're all 23 here.
One thing I do find...
22, some of us.
One thing I do find kind of interesting is that Sharon Moore is
You my kid, bro. You my kid. You my son.
One thing I find interesting is that Sharon Moore announced that OG was going to be the starter. He announced it instead of keeping it in the back pocket, having USC assume it was going to be Warren, and then showing up on game day. Michigan's offense takes the field, and Alex Orji's the starter. So
It almost feels like it would have been smarter to hold it to your chest, right?
Well, there's that, but I wonder if he's doing it to, he's showing the confidence in Alex Orji, even though he didn't make him the starter at the start of the season. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird, and I don't know how to feel about it. But this Michigan. If the goal was Big Ten championship, national championship for the team, because they'll always say that as a team that their goal is national championships, Big Ten championships. If that is truly your goal, your backs are up against the wall right now, and you have to win this game. You cannot lose at home to USC, where going into the season you were arguably 10-point favorites. You can't lose this game. So, with that being said, I think we need to jump into some score predictions. Just a note again, USC is 5-point favorites. The over-under is set at 44.5. Tony, take it away from us. Take it away for us. What is your score prediction?
Take it away from me. I don't want to talk about it anymore. See, I personally see this being a really big game. I think both sides are going to show up. It's going to be just brute force. 24-27, USC.
I said it for the Texas one. I'm going to say it again. When I said it last week, I still have hope. I still believe. I will go 21-17 Michigan.
That's fair.
I want to believe in my team.
I want to believe in them too, but it can't be us voting for the Michigan team every week.
No, and we haven't. I chose Texas, but
Fair enough.
I still believe that this team has enough talent there to be able to pull it off.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think it'll be a great game.
Let's go 20-13 USC.
I'll do 26-21 USC.
And with that, those were our Michigan score predictions, and we have a kind of big game to talk about that we probably didn't think we had started before the season started, and that is 3-0 Michigan State traveling to Boston College, 2-1. They probably arguably could still be ranked. It is taking place at 8 p.m. on ACC Network. Boston College is 6.5-point favorites. The over/under is set at 45.5. Take it away first, Colby.
Oh, it's gonna be a tough game. Like I said last episode, this game is probably gonna define the rest of the season for us. You shit the bed and you commit a lot of penalties. That's probably gonna be the story of these next couple of games. You play them close, you clean it up. You got a shot. Definitely had a bowl game.
You always got a shot.
Potentially at maybe a Big Ten championship run. Maybe. I think the biggest advantage for MSU here, though, I gotta pull the stat back up, is Boston College's third down efficiency. Just taking a look. Oh, God, ESPN confused. Just taking a look at
ESPN, fix
some
your
of the team
shit.
stats, kind of heading into this.
And
I
you'll
want
see
to look
it,
at.
It'll be popped up on your screen for you at home.
I just want to look at Boston College's team stats. 35 points per game, scary. Total touchdowns, 15. Total team points, 105, scary. 56 first downs, scary. However, third down efficiency, 18 for 38. Not super efficient, 47.37.
Quick side note. I believe this is the first regular season matchup, if I'm remembering correctly, since 1995. I believe Boston College leads the series 4-1.
On the other hand, efficiency is 38, not third down efficiency. I think if you can consistently get them to third down, granted you don't commit a penalty on that third down, I think you have a shot here. I think you do. Obviously, I think the big problem is going to be Thomas Castellanos and his scrambling ability. We're going to have to set a contain on damn near every play. You have to contain him. If you let him do his thing and work some magic.
Oh, he'll move on you.
Our secondary is pretty decent. But if you let him break down, it's not going to end well for us. And you can argue and say Childs, you can do the same thing with Childs, but Castellanos is the definition of.
I mean, look what he did against Florida State and how shifty he was and able to move around. And arguably, that's his mobility is what kind of won them that Florida State game.
If you want to look at it, Castellanos is a scrambler. Childs is an improviser.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it that way, in terms of they're both mobile QBs for sure. They're probably just as fast as each other. But
For those of you college football fans at home, there you go. It's you're building your character and your road to glory.
architect, yeah.
Do I want to be a field general? No, I want to be the one that runs.
Yeah, I think that is going to be the biggest thing besides the penalties for Michigan State is being able to contain Castellanos and not letting him extend plays. The secondary is decent. You got some decent corners. You got some decent safeties. I think we can hang with the receivers in coverage, but you can't let him extend that play. As soon as he's able to extend that play and that receiver knows, he's going to make a break. The QB or the CB is not going to anticipate where he's coming back to him to get the the ball, that's where you kind of break down and fall apart. And like we have good backers, but you know, backers can only cover so much of that wide field from hash mark to hash mark. I think that's the big thing that we need to look out for is can we contain Castellanos? It's Michigan State. We have a decent run defense. I think we can hold the run. And I think if we can get pressure and contain, the secondary can get the job done for sure. Linebackers, they can cover the middle. They can run stuff. They can blitz. We know that. We have pretty good linebackers. Cal Halliday, Jordan Turner, Wayne Nash is third, Darius Snell. List goes on. Offensively, Chavs. No turnovers, man. We got to play clean ball. If we don't play clean ball, you might as well throw it in. I think if you commit 2 turnovers in the first half, it's probably game. We got to keep the ball safe. Coming in, I did not look at their yards allowed, but I feel like this is a game where we're going to need to kind of establish a running game and play Big Ten bully ball against them. I think that's going to give us our biggest advantage going into it. Just see here real quick.
Oh,
Yeah, ESPN is tricky about that. It makes it a pain in my ass when I have to go back and when I'm making these beautiful graphics that I'll see. But while you're looking, you kind of pretty much already touched on probably the 2 things that I was going to say were going to be the main focus, and arguably, I mean, you can say it for any game. I'm going to be honest, but I think for Michigan State, and I feel like I'm broken record at this point. Fix the penalties. Clean up on that. You cannot have. You got to cut what your average is, and you got to cut that in half. You got to have no more than 5. 6 is pushing it. If you can keep that down to 5 to 6 and stay in that range, you're in a really good spot. And like Colby said, clean up on the turnovers. Michigan State played an FCS school. Their turnover margin is still -2. Clean up on the turnovers, and it helps your defense out a lot. It keeps them rested. It helps the field position battle. And it doesn't take away a drive from your offense. Those are the 2 big things I think Michigan State has to do is be smart about the penalties and win the turnover margin or win the turnover battle. All I care, you could throw 3 interceptions as long as you get 4. You got to win the turnover margin, and that's what's gonna do them here. They got arguably very lucky that they walked out of Maryland having lost the turnover margin and having committed that many penalties and still, walking away with the dub. So those are probably the 2 things that I would be focused on, and that's what I'm going to be watching for when watching this game, even though it's on the ACC network. How is this game on ACC network? It makes no sense.
broadcasting rights are goofy.
That not only are they goofy, but it's stupid that a Power 4 non-conference matchup, I don't care how bad the teams are, should not be on a conference network. This is stupid. It doesn't matter because I have YouTube TV. I can watch it anyways. But it's stupid. It's stupid.
Who cares about the ACC anyway?
Let's just say it how it is. It's stupid that this game is on ACC network. Gentlemen,
like you guys said, I think this game will define the rest of the season for Michigan State, or at least the heart of the season.
5-game onslaught coming.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I vibe in hypotheticals. I could, if Michigan State goes out there, commits fucking 12 penalties, and then just get their shit kicked in, curb stomped by Boston College, I can see a universe where it's like, oh, we can't get away with that and win.
Yeah.
And kind of flip a switch. I don't think it's going to necessarily affect the outcome of the season, like greatly. Like I think if they lose now, they lose to Oregon,
Ohio State,
State.
Michigan, or Iowa.
Yeah, they lose through the heart. But it'd be as like, oh yeah, we should probably clean up our shit, and they cut it in half, maybe 2/3 the penalties. Kind of like loosen up, but I don't think it necessarily affect any outcomes. Maybe scoring wise, maybe box score wise, might be a little bit closer games, I guess you could say, if you don't count points out of penalties. I also lost my train of thought while I was speaking too, so that was
Damn, don't you hate that?
So yeah, I couldn't find yardage allowed in that short span there.
Yeah, it will be on the step. It will be on the graphic. Don't you worry, Pookie. I got you, Pookies.
So Florida State they held to about 20-ish rushing yards, but Florida State is Florida State. It's Florida State. Played Duquesne. I didn't even bother with Duquesne one. And then Missouri, their lead back, and it's mainly just their lead back, 121 yards. So, I mean, having a 1A, 1B with Nate Carter, Cameron Lynch, I think if you can establish the run, you know the passes will come. Aiden Childs can be an electric passer when he's not throwing air balls up for grabs for anybody out there down the field. So I think if we come in here and we act like a Big Ten team, I think we got a shot. If we clean up the turnovers, I think we got a shot. If we clean up the penalties, I think we got a shot. If we hold Castellanos, just being in the pocket, we got a shot.
That's a hard task. Holding him in the pocket. Brother wants to leave. Actively pack his bags and move to Boston.
I want to hear some of your thoughts, Tony. I know we've probably taken all your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything that needs to be said has already been said.
It's just broken record at this point.
Yeah.
Clean it up. This is most definitely a make or break game.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no doubt about it. And I don't know how I feel about going into it. I mean, we haven't hit the broken record on all of the points yet. 61-man turnover, all new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Like, it is a brand new team coming into the season, and there are times where they've looked good. There are times where they've looked less than excellent. Like, it's really hard to get a gauge on what they can do against a big opponent like this until they just go and do it.
Right.
Show us what you were made of. When the lights are the brightest.
They're not the brightest yet. They are getting brighter.
Oh, they are.
Oh, they're turning them up. They're turning up the brightness. We're at about 75% right now. I don't know if Aiden Childs is going to be ready for that big hit of, oh God, this is the type of team we have to play to win a natty. This is the type of team we have to play to make the playoffs. It's either a wake-up moment where he snaps in and is the guy, or it's a wake-up moment where he realizes it's going to be a second before he's all the way quite there. We getting into score predictions?
Yeah, I was just about to say, and with that being said, let's get into some score predictions. I'm not going to start with you this time. Let's start with Samuel. Let's start on the other end. And just take it away for us, Sam. Mind you, again, Boston College, 6.5 point favorites. Over/under is at 45.5. That being said, what do you think, Sam?
I'll do 24-20 Boston College.
Give me 31-24 MSU game winner. 45-yard pass. Childs to Marsh.
Oh, I love the specifics.
Oh, it's me. I don't know why I was looking at you. Give me 31-21 Boston College, and Michigan State does not get the penalties cleaned up.
24-21 Boston College.
My score prediction goes to clean up the turnovers and the penalties. This is not if all those happen, we're not winning this game. If we clean it up, it's
a different story.
I think it's 24-24 going down in the fourth. Childs.
Game time.
with my score prediction, I think Boston College just kind of gets out early and just kind of controls the game from there, and I don't think Michigan State can. I don't think they kind of recover, and I think they get in their own way with the penalties.
But mine's kind of based off of Michigan State cleans it up, but not all the way.
It's definitely going to be a transition game if it's going to be anything.
Yes.
It's kind of funny. We both defended our teams in the game picks. Everyone else went against.
I wonder why.
But with that being said, I think it's time to spotlight some of the games in the country. If you haven't been here throughout this process, we spotlight.
It's a shit show.
It is.
Yes.
It is. But we spotlight one game collegiately and one game in the NFL each week. Talk about it a little bit, kind of give some feelings, thoughts, opinions, and something that you should keep an eye on outside of the state of Michigan. With that, we'll start with Tony.
I only have one spotlight game.
Okay.
NFL. Eagles Saints.
Okay.
You're looking at an Eagles team that has you're now iffy performance out of Saquon. You're probably still missing A.J. Brown going into this game. Offense has been lackluster. You just got beat on the last drive of the game by the Falcons. What are we doing? Supposed to be Super Bowl contenders. What's going on right now? Going up against, as Sam so beautifully predicted last week, the Linsanity run of Derek Carr. Oh, the Saints. I don't know who put what in the bayou, but they are cooking right now.
They're cooking that John by
I think his name is Henry Kubiak. I'm probably wrong. It's Gary Kubiak's son. That dude was the missing thing for the. Oh my god, dude.
Must have been, because they're cooking with some heat right now.
Oh,
would say-
some of that. I saw some of that John Balaya now, boy.
Oh, I'm about to make a name for myself
I'm
here.
gonna make a name for myself.
I would say they're
Some
cooking
good boy.
a little Cajun style.
Fuck, I'm hungry now.
It is 11 o'clock at night, and I'm going to get DoorDash on the way out.
Did you happen to have a college game there?
I did not have a college game.
Well,
Lot of college games going in. Like the only one I'm really paying attention to kind of plays into my buy or sell, so I'm leaving that to the side for now.
well, that's perfect because you took my NFL one.
I'm sorry.
Mine was Saints Eagles as well. The Saints are 2.5 point favorites. Over under is at 49.5. But moving on,
If anybody had guessed that the Saints are going to be favorites over the Eagles in Week 3,
and the Saints
the
would be the
start of the year.
undefeated team.
Yeah.
That,
I think most NFL fans would have called you an idiot.
probably. But moving on to my college game, isn't my college game, but shout out St. Francis traveling up to Ypsilanti, Michigan to take on the Eastern Michigan Eagles. But my actual spotlight game is TCU taking on SMU. Old school rivalry. TCU is 3-point favorites. The over-under is set at 58.5. Kind of interesting. It's a rivalry game in Week 4 in college football. You don't typically get that, especially non-conference matchup. Should be interesting to see how SMU continues to handle their rise to the Power 4 and how they handle the ACC. I know this isn't an ACC matchup, but it is a rivalry. They're at home. They're the dogs. So it's kind of an interesting matchup. It's more low-key rivalry, so just keep an eye out on it. Colby.
My NFL spotlight game. My team is favored by 1.5. It's a revenge game for a certain player.
Uh-oh.
That would be the Green Bay Packers traveling to the Tennessee Titans. Malik Willis with his revenge tour.
I was thinking about
Stick
that
it to
earlier. That 100% crossed my mind. I think it's going to be
Our
a
minds are
heater.
thinking alike because clearly you just took Sam's.
I think that's going to be a heater of a
And then
game.
my college one, I thought you were going to take it. It's the obvious one. Tennessee traveling to Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Take out
Son of a
Oklahoma
bitch!
at
Yeah.
7
Sam
points.
is left with.
I wanted my spotlight to be a little more like you have to kind of go look
Well,
for
out
it.
there,
Yeah,
out
you
there.
have to kind of
That
go
game-
looking for it. I didn't want to choose a ranked matchup.
That game's going to be a hell of
It
a game to
is.
watch. That's going to be a fucking insanely.
Josh
offensive
Heupel's
heavy
return to
game.
Norman.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game. This will be truly. This is
probably contention for game of the year.
Yeah, this is if my buying all this stock into Tennessee has been worth it, or if it's gonna fall flat on its face. If they look like shit.
I'm sorry. Do you want to repeat how bad Tennessee is outscoring their opponents so far this year?
191 to 13.
There it is.
And Oklahoma scores too.
Yeah.
There's a man named Deion Burks down there that knows how to score.
I'm just trying to help kill time as Sam looks for 2 new spotlight games.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel bad at this point.
As he looks, I definitely think that game has to be in the early contention for game of the year.
Yeah.
Probably NFL and college for sure.
Yeah. It's gonna live up to better. It's gonna have the hype of game of the year is gonna be a lot more deserved than people were thinking the Michigan Texas game was. I didn't think it was gonna be game of the year potential. So, I mean,
the side eye of just.
Well,
whoa.
You know who the real game of the year is gonna be? They'll match up in Ann Arbor, Michigan,
October
between
26th.
two brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Are about to get rough and rowdy. Put the China
Oh,
away.
God. Mittcast is going to be so toxic that week. It's going to be so toxic.
You're sitting over there. I'm sitting over here. They get the couch.
They get the couch. Yeah. It's going to be a toxic week. But Sam
and Tony on the couch?
You're-
This is a revelation.
you're spotlight.
Oh, because it won't be friendly between us that week. It's not.
So for my
It never is.
college one, no rhyme or reason, Iowa and Minnesota.
Next little rivalry game.
Minnesota!
Next little rivalry.
Is that? That's not Floyd or Rosedale, is it? No.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, it is Floyd or Rosedale.
It is Floyd or Rosedale.
We'll pop a picture of the Floyd or Rosedale
I got
trophy.
you.
On two.
It is
here.
the
I will
best.
pull it up.
Probably arguably the best. But continue.
And then for my
Continue, Sam,
NFL
let's get
one?
pulled up.
Y'all know I like shit shows.
Uh-oh.
Carolina Raiders.
Oh my God.
The Gardner Minshew mania begins
I
now.
did pick the Floyd or Rosedale.
Ooh. What the fuck is that?
That's the Floyd or Rosedale.
That's the trophies they played for.
I love that.
Yeah, you got effectively 2 backup quarterbacks.
All right, Sam.
What are you talking about? Andy Dalton is an icon.
Yeah, $20.
Yeah, we got to get one. We should prop it up.
Yes,
We gotta
now!
Oh,
But,
what's the Penn State Michigan State one?
get Land Grant trophy.
Get that one as well.
See, I still need to get a trophy with a crown.
Moving on to buying and selling some stocks here, gentlemen. We are at Wall Street. And Samuel is going to kick it off for us so no one steals his this time. So we'll go Sam to Tony in this one.
I'm buying into 3 teams.
Okay. Oh, note for the audience at home. We get 2 NFL teams, 2 college teams. You can buy, you can sell, you can hold your stock on them. Those are your 3 choices.
So, I kind of broke the rules, unfortunately.
Samuel.
I went 3 NFL teams.
Taking away the slim pickets.
I'm going to continue buying into New Orleans.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Don't fix it. Buying into Miami or Florida. For no other
The
reason.
college football team?
Yeah, for my college.
Okay.
I
I was
had,
going to say, the Dolphins?
Buy into the
good
guys who
mention.
might have Tom Brady as their quarterback week 6.
I had a reason for buying into Miami or Florida University, college. I forgot it. Now, my one sell to the Miami Dolphins. Due to
Understandable.
C to a E.
Somebody put that shit on a t-shirt.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
C to a E might be the funniest thing I've heard about that whole situation
Oh, my
since
God.
it happened.
Unfortunately, my Hawk to a parlay ain't looking so
C
well.
to a E, turn the ball over.
Oh no, that needs to be a t-shirt.
And now, this one, put a little asterisk, a little caveat. I'm buying into the Justin Fields Steelers. But, Russell Wilson Steelers, hold, maybe sell.
So you're just gonna have the Steelers as like an opaque background. of the entire graphic. You might buy, you might sell. Who's the quarterback? Don't really know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna put that up for sale because he cheated. He broke the rules.
Oh, break the rules.
Take it away from him.
Cheater.
All right. One team I'm going to sell on. Oh my god, I totally just forgot them.
Uh-oh.
No, I didn't. The Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Understandable.
Back-to-back weeks on the sell list.
Sorry. It's just Caleb, dude.
Look at the bright side. Roma Dunze would look really good if anybody had actually put a fucking ball in his hand.
Just dude.
Holy shit.
Dude.
At this point, I'm not even as upset about Caleb Williams because, oh my god, can we please stop starting rookie quarterbacks in the NFL? But also, where's the Bears' O-line?
Not there.
I feel like I see Caleb Williams getting sacked as often as I see him throwing the ball.
Then I'm also going to sell on the Dallas Cowboys.
Valid.
Yeah, I'm already out on him,
Two
too.
starter. Dak doesn't look good.
That's a
Running game
brutal
doesn't
start.
look good. Two teams I will buy into though.
You know they can't see this, right?
No, but the silence is deafening.
Yeah, there goes my phone, by the way.
It's gone forever. Tut, 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 tut. Hey, Junior!
He's just looking back and forth
Oh my god, I'm just gonna say
mildly
mine if
menacing.
he doesn't get this over with.
like a little bitch.
I'm gonna buy into the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, Sam Darnold, huh? You feeling it?
I'm gonna buy into them.
You should have never fucking got rid of me!
I'm gonna buy into them. Then another team I'm gonna buy into the Atlanta Falcons.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
That one alone Kirko Chains drive
Sold you.
might have dispelled all the non-primetime Kirk Cousins stigmas he had. When he was in Minnesota, he couldn't win a primetime game. Gets down to Atlanta. Gets it.
I don't know what bro's on about.
I don't think these two know how to follow what we are setting out here to do. We have seen 2 of them, and we have seen 7 NFL teams. 1 college football team.
Man, rules are meant to be broken.
See, I've got 1 and 1.
Thank you, Tony.
Technically 1 and 2, if I'm allowed.
But
I'll do my thing.
I am selling on the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah,
Now
it's kind of hard not to.
they're 0-2 and they have a fuck ton of injuries, so that,
It's not even the fact that they're a bad team. It is strictly circumstantial.
yeah, it's more.
Their top 2 wide
injuries.
receivers and weapons are done.
So I am actually buying into the Pittsburgh Steelers. Unlike Sam, I am buying in.
Fair enough.
No, whoa! You didn't buy in there, buddy.
Cheater.
You said, if it's Russell Wilson, it's
If it's Justin Fields, punt returner.
Shout out the band.
Asshole.
Shout out the band.
Hey, bro, you can't put out a fucking put option. This isn't the actual trade market.
Well, fuck, I took business 1-1 3 fucking times. I know a thing or two about the
All right, the first college team I am buying on
Passed every time.
is the Pittsburgh Panthers. I am buying in on the city of Pittsburgh this week, I guess.
You know what? I'm down with it.
I am pretty confident in the Pitt Panthers. They look pretty good against West Virginia in that rivalry game. The quarterback has looked pretty good. I'm buying into Pitt. The last team I am buying into, potential playoff contender, the Toledo Rockets. They went down to Starksville, Mississippi State, and put a whooping on that SEC team. They won 52-17. So I am buying in on Toledo.
I buy in, let alone just for the rocket that's outside their stadium playing at Bowling Green Stadium.
That's awesome.
That is hot.
All right, Tony.
All right. I am buying on the Malik Willis hype. Give me Green Bay, especially going into this week against the team that drafted him and let him go in favor of Will Levis, the mayonnaise man.
What you got against Bayo?
That's not a topic for this podcast. I'm going with Green Bay. I'm buying on them hard. I think. What?
Why isn't that a top? Okay.
Because we're talking about sports. Anywho.
Mayonnaise podcast.
Mayonnaise podcast. Welcome to the other mayonnaise edition. Yeah, buying in on Green Bay. I've got big hopes for them against Tennessee this week. And then I am selling on Missouri Vanderbilt, baby. I'm just kidding. That one's a joke. That one's my joke. I'm actually selling on Nebraska. It's going to be a real tough game against Illinois. Nebraska is, I believe, 22nd ranked. Illinois is 24.
Yes. Yes.
It'll be a good game. I think Illinois comes out on top.
That's fair. Well, they're still up there on the screen. Those are the teams we're buying, selling, holding on. But now, gentlemen, I think it's time to cook.
I got the walk. I got the sesame oil.
All right, Tony.
All right.
Start with you and rotate over to Sam.
Well, once again, I've got two this week. A safe bet and a holy Lord who gave him a phone parlay.
Who gave him that sports book?
Who allowed him to have a bank account? $2 Tony strikes again. Safe parlay.
No $2 Tony.
Detroit money line.
Okay.
Under 52.5. I feel like the offense for the Lions has been lacking lately, but the defense has been excellent. So I'm buying in under. Lions spread, -3. And Lions over 27.5 total points. That will win me $13.33 out of my $2. Now the 13-leg monstrosity of doom.
Oh my god.
New York Jets money line over 38.5.
Keep going.
You good over there? Or?
Who's whispering first?
New York Jets money line over 38.5. Chargers over Steelers, Bucks over Broncos, Packers over Titans, Raiders over Panthers, Seahawks over Dolphins, Lions over Cardinals, Ravens over Cowboys, 49ers over the Rams, Chiefs over the Falcons, Bills over the Jags, Bengals over the Commanders. $2 will win me $652.69.
What out there?
And I will be going into next week's review 0-8.
Well, going on to what I have two for you as well. I have a nice short 4-leg parlay. Nebraska money line, Texas Tech money line over Arizona State, Michigan money line over USC, Rutgers money line over Virginia Tech.
Ooh.
Final odds at plus 1,391.
Fair.
Next, I have a 6-leg parlay. Again, I'm taking Nebraska money line. I'm going to take Vanderbilt to cover the spread against Missouri.
Ooh.
They are 21.5-point dogs. I'm going to take them on that. Again, I'm going to take Rutgers money line. I'm going to add Tennessee money line. I'm going to take the over on the Michigan State Boston College at 45.5. Finally, I'm going to take Hawaii money line versus Northern Iowa, an FCS school traveling to Hawaii. That is only at -1. Excuse me, that's at -310 odds. I feel like that should be higher. Final odds on that come out to plus 1,866. Those are the two I have for you. Feel free to sprinkle any of the smaller, like easy odds in there, like Indiana versus Charlotte, to get some, extra pennies thrown in there for you. Colby.
Like I said, long strips off the back. We're not betting this week. Just kidding. Just one. No little 4-legger. Just gotta be careful. Just be safe. All money lines. Tampa Bay against the Broncos. Tampa Bay money line.
Solid.
Raiders against the Panthers. Raiders money line.
Solid.
49ers against the Rams. 49ers money line.
Solid.
The Lions can't hurt me again, can they?
Oh, and that's the gamble, isn't it?
Lions money line for final odds to this 306. Nice and safe. $10 to win me $40.68.
They can't hurt me again. We're not gambling money. We're gambling our hearts.
All right, Samuel.
Alright, so I got what I call the state parlay.
Uh-oh.
He bet on every team that has the word state.
Damn near. App State. Minus 258. Washington State, or Wazoo. If you know, you know. Minus 470. Iowa State. Minus 2100. Utah State. Minus 218.
$3.
Jacksonville State. Minus 218.
$3 is gonna win you $3.87.
At plus 275 odds. That's turning $5 into $18.75. And then for my NFL one, a little more reasonable. Steelers at money line at minus 120. Texans at 135. Lions 155. That is a plus 425 odds. Times 5 and a 26.25.
Let's see, normally when I've been editing, I throw up the what's cooking graphic and I put on the parlay for the audience, so you can pause it and you can fill it out yourself. However, with that first bet, I think I'm just gonna let it ride out so they can see our reactions to that.
I think we have
I
to.
get that.
What do you got against the state parlay?
That was something.
Remember the part where we look at the camera and say gamble responsibly? You didn't listen to the disclaimer.
So yeah,
I'm telling them to gamble
need
responsibly.
to. We don't need to.
yes,
No.
please gamble responsibly.
We make a lot of money doing
Please.
this. We make a lot of money. We can afford to lose it.
Yeah.
This, please do. Please
I'm
do
a
smart.
multi-millionaire from sports betting.
Why are we sitting in Colby's apartment? Why are we not in a
Buy me a
apartment?
studio, sugar daddy.
Because I have no other things.
We're literally in New York right now.
What do you, yeah.
Yeah, can't you see?
We
Out
own
the
an
windows.
entire building.
Oh.
This is what
Worry.
multimillionaires get in downtown Manhattan.
What that means, we're gonna transition onto the Detroit Lions playing the Arizona Cardinals, traveling to Arizona.
Kind of nervy.
It's about time, let me say my piece.
Your Detroit Lions are 3-point favorites. The over/under is set at 51.5. Tony, you said you wanted to speak your piece, so
I want rookie on rookie. Give me Terry on coverage on Marvin Harrison. If I'm not seeing that kind of coverage the entire game to show that Terry on's better, I ain't watching.
I think that is the matchup.
I would assume so. I would assume,
against St. Jones.
yeah, I would assume we're gonna see Terry on versus Marv, and that would be an exciting matchup. Little nerve-wracking considering the Cardinals just kicked the shit out of the Rams again. The Rams are very hurt, and they've only continued to get more and more hurt. So,
Kyler Murray can't have 2 good games in a row, right?
well, we are Kyler Murray's father. We own that Call of Duty playing midget.
Please drop Call of Duty.
Whoa!
Please drop Call of Duty. Please drop it early. Drop Call of Duty early, please. Please drop Call of Duty early.
I don't think you guys know the statistical drop-off Kyler Murray has once a new COD game comes out. It's fucking ridiculous.
Bro wants Master Prestige. What do you mean? Bro wants Diamond Camo.
Just look up Kyler Murray stats when COD comes out.
Is it like the cartel whenever new Dragon Ball content comes out?
Yes.
It's Patrick Laine with the Jets when Fortnite was big in 2018, where he just stopped playing for a while.
Oh, like whenever new Dragon Ball Z content or any Dragon Ball content comes out, cartel activity just. I'm sorry for yapping.
He can praise the gods about Call of Duty, but we can't talk about something on a similar note. Is this what we've come to?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
anyways,
ADHD ball. I should have
so-
done that.
I think
This midget ball, whatever will you do?
I think
I got my keys.
it should be interesting to see how the offense and how
Except for Rebecca.
He's a fucking teacher right now.
He had to teach her Psy and everything.
Take a quick pause. Catch your breath. Ready? It should be interesting to see how Ben Johnson and the offense recover from the Buccaneers game and how they handle what just happened the previous week, and if they overcome that, or if they continue to be about where they were the last 2 weeks.
I think it has to be a comeback game for Ben Johnson's offense. It has to be. I mean, realistically, how good is the Cardinals' defense? This is actually a genuine question. I'm not aware of their game.
Well, it's hard to tell based on the first 2 games of the season.
Alright, so fuck them. Run them in the dirt.
Well,
I want to see 150 plus yards for Amon-Ra. I want to watch him just bury him.
Based on the Madden franchise we just started today and looking at that roster, as a defensive Madden player, it makes me want to cry. I'm the Cardinals to listen to.
Oh, so they're bad.
They are bad. Yeah. At least in Madden.
They got Buda Baker,
Who? Who?
Sean
Rutabaga?
Murphy, Sean Murphy Bunting, Zaven Collins. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Jalen Thompson, free safety.
I don't think their defense has much to look forward to. I'm keeping
Yeah,
this
I
back
like-
with you. Shoddy. Here's the real question: how good is their O-line? Because Hutch has been playing
that good.
like there's fire in his soul.
Um,
If we have another game with DJ Reader taking up blocks, Hutch is coming for
It's just-
kneecaps.
I understand the Rams are really hurt. It does worry me how bad they beat down the Rams.
Yeah. Okay.
And they held their own with the Bills for a while there,
Yeah,
too.
they did. They got up to a 17-point lead and blew it.
So they're not getting clutch time.
Well, I mean, it's really hard to tell. I mean,
Especially
Well,
this early.
yeah, we're only 2 games in, so it's hard to gauge a lot of what teams are and what's meaningful and what was a fluke game, what was because of injuries, what was because of X, Y, or Z, and there's plenty of factors. So
It is really difficult looking back on especially that Rams game. Because, I mean, the Rams had to have been in complete and total disarray.
something I keep forgetting to bring up, and I want to bring it up now before the Lions play week 3, and I want to point it out. There's a reason our defense has looked pretty good. There's a reason our offense has not been up to the standards that we are expecting from this team. Our defense had a handful of the starters playing preseason and get good minutes and got some reps. Our offensive starters never saw the field. Not once.
Coming in cold.
I
They
didn't even
came
think
in
about that.
cold. So I've been willing to be patient with the offense, and I can live with the first 2 games if the offense comes back up to par and to standard and to what we expect from this Detroit Lions offense. That being said, I am very happy with how our defense has looked.
Well, defense has been fantastic. I don't think I have a single complaint. Brian Branch is doing Brian Branch things. Terrion looks right at home. The D-line is giving a perfect amount of coverage for Hutch to do a little action in there. There's not much to say other than keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we get the Lions of last year, we're gonna blow this fucking team out of the goddamn water like they're the Carolina Panthers of last year. We had to take 6 touchdown shots.
That was a rough day.
And that's the tough thing with the Rams. So looking back at the Rams game, played as close, but they had Cooper Kupp that whole game, Puka for half of it. They go into Arizona, no Puka, lose Cooper at the half.
Tough.
I mean, you still have.
And I mean, Stafford's never been particularly mobile, so
I don't.
who's he throwing to?
I don't think Kyron was hurt, but he was banged up during that Arizona game. I think because Blake got some touches. It's hard to gauge. I think we do right the ship.
I think we wrecked the ship too.
I've got faith.
The way you're bouncing that pen on your nose and almost like smoked your eye like 3 times to make it cringe.
Does anyone else have anything to say regarding week 3 against the Arizona Cardinals?
I think it's pretty straightforward.
I think it's now or never.
Gotta bounce back.
I think this is I think it's either we bounce back now,
Or we're playing catch up for the next 6 weeks.
Well, with 2 losses, you'd be aight.
yeah, but
Hey, what are the Vikings?
You forget
2-0.
2-0.
What are the Packers?
1-1.
What are the Bears?
1-1.
What are the Lions?
1-1.
Don't lose this game.
You know, it's a
We
17-game season.
We got a lot of time
We
left.
still have 6 games against those previously mentioned teams.
But momentum swings are heavy.
I'd rather.
If that Vikings team stays hot, I think they stay hot all the way up to the trade deadline.
No.
Well, Justin Jefferson's hurt, so.
Wait, he's like officially hurt?
I mean, he missed half of that game against the
Oh.
Niners.
Well, maybe they should get their
I'd rather be.
wide receiver 2 be that ref that caught up with that play, because holy shit, bro could move.
I'd rather be hot late than hot now.
I'd rather be
I guess there is some sense to that.
Yeah, because you can. I mean, you can be like, yeah, we don't want to start slow. Look at Lions 2 years ago, started 1-6, ended 9-8.
That being said, I think we are ready for some score predictions, game predictions. Tony, yeah, we're gonna start with you this time.
Real simple. 28-17. Lions.
I'm gonna go. I'll go 24-21 Lions.
Bounce back, 49-14 Lions.
I'm gonna do bounce back, but not as much. 35-17 Lions.
Solid enough.
I want to get fucked up. I want to be able to drive home.
Sam said, I don't have my Uber account linked to my phone.
Well,
And
hey,
like 4 minutes away.
Wah, wah.
yeah, I mean, but then another. It's nice. We're now getting into some games where we won't all agree on, and you'll start to see some.
Oh yeah,
variation
there will
in
be
the,
some fluctuation.
in the season predictions in the games. But that being said, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you taking your time and watching our content. Like, subscribe, hit that bell if you haven't already.
Ring the bell.
Hit the real subscribe button.
Questions for you in the description, assholes.
We appreciate you being here, and
Yes.
we hope you stick with us. We'll catch you next time.
Every fucking time, dickhead.